Hey, to all those seeking vibrant health, it's Dr. Rachel Northern here at Northern Light Care. I'm a family wellness chiropractor, and once a month I like to cover a couple of different topics more in depth. And our theme for this month is self-care. So if you've been watching my posts, daily posts, it's all about trying to focus on taking care of yourself. And taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's actually really beneficial to help others if you are in good health. So let's get this show on the road. So first off, what do you focus on when it comes to self-care? I tell people, where are you weakest at? That's probably what you should focus on. Some things come naturally. Some people like going to the gym and taking care of themselves. Some people are really good about eating properly. Some people are really good about relaxing. Some people relax too much. So pick something to focus on, like maybe do like a wellness wheel. If you just like Google wellness wheel, you'll get all these different diagrams that show up, and kind of you can rate yourself on different areas of your life and see where you're the weakest at. I do this at least once a year, and it's a good gauge of telling me where I'm at in my family life, my work balance life, and where I need to focus my attention to improve on, and where I'm doing really good on, where I can pat myself on the back. So figure out where you're struggling on taking care of yourself and taking care of your balance. So first off, are you too busy? Are you finding yourself you're busy with family, you're busy with work? Are you just busy catching up on Netflix? Where are you putting your time? You make the time for the things you value. So I do recommend paying attention to your values and honoring your values, which I've talked about in other talks. So go back to some of those other talks that are on my YouTube channel. But, figure out what is perfect for you in your life, and try to focus on those things. So is again, how to figure out your values is think about what inspires you. What do you like to do the most? Maybe write a list of things, the things that you like to do, things that you just are good at, and just sit down and write those out. What things make you happy? And try to see how you can put more of those things into your life to help just brighten your spirit, lift your spirits up. And, like we talked about, do a self-evaluation on that. Self-discovery. So also taking time to sit back and think about where you've accumulated people putting their shoulds on you. I have family, I have friends, I have lots of people who tell me what they think I should be doing. Husband, one, I love you, honey, but sometimes your should is not my should. And so making sure we have not accumulated little barnacles of things that really aren't serving us. So are you living, to your calling in your life? Are you doing what others are dictating to you? Do you have like parents that told you you should be this certain thing, and so you strove to be this thing and realize it's really not you? So part of self-care is really finding, discovering who you are and doing the things that you're meant to do. What is your calling? I'm blessed that I really feel like I found my calling helping others. I love chiropractic. I love people coming in and getting better. And, even though I have days that I'm here 10 to 11 hours, I'm inspired that I can help people, and I keep doing it. So one of my first older patients told me that line of, if you do the work you love, you never work a day of your life, which is a common quote. And that's true. Find what you love and try to do it, and just get rid of the things that maybe been put on you. So sometimes it's hard to find that out, but like sit down and do some journaling to, go through these exercises to help with that. So when it comes to self-care, exercise is really important. So, when you visualize, what you do, like, how do you feel? Like, whether it's activities you do in your life. So there's like a couple basic things I suggest in the practice here on a daily basis. So I talk about this a lot in my book about taking ownership of your health. And there's things about, eating properly, which pretty much all my talks talk about eating properly, with movement, making sure you're moving, make sure you're moving every day. What are you feeding your mind and your brain, and attitude of gratitude. And so, do like a vision exercise and look forward and look ahead and see what you want in your life. How does your ideal life look? Are you going to the gym 3 times a week? Are you eating a nutritious, healthy, clean meal every meal? Like, what does your ideal taking care of yourself look like? Are you just going on hikes every day? I like to hike, so I make sure to include that in. Now it's summertime and we have our sand volleyball leagues are starting back up. I enjoy that. I love going out. So when I look at what makes me happy, and when I visualize those things in my future of what I want, those are the things I see. And when I do that, it makes me feel good. It makes my body feel good. So also reverse on that, what things that you do that don't make you feel good. So think about those things, and how do you want to eliminate those out of your life? How do you, put boundaries on those things? Is there sometimes, unfortunately, certain people that you need to kind of get rid of in your life because they're just not healthy for your self-care? They're actually tearing you down instead of building you up. So, what is holding you back? What is holding you back from taking care of yourself? So this is a reflection on that. So do you have a fear of that FEMO, not doing enough or missing out on something? So you're doing all these things that really aren't your calling. Are you having not really connecting with yourself or connecting with who you truly are? Are you a perfectionist? I have that tendency, and I've learned that phrase of progress, not perfection. We were late tonight. We had technical difficulties. I had family coming into the office. I told Jess tonight. So we started late, but it's okay because we're still here. We're still doing it. I'm still trying to give you good information. You just do the best you can, and sometimes crap happens, and you just move on and learn from it. Are you just not motivated? And a lot of times people aren't motivated because you're doing all the shoulds, the barnacles that have been put on you. Do you need some skills maybe? Honestly, when I started working out, I had a trainer that came to me, and I was at my other office, and she actually came once a week and showed me how to do certain things, certain movements. Yes, I'm a doctor. Yes, I learned anatomy. Yes, I learned how the muscles work, but sometimes just having someone just walk you through and help you accountability to get the skills I needed. Plus, I needed her to help me get that routine in place, to develop that skill, to get that routine in place. So if you say you have a calling to switch careers, I have had many patients that their lives have just changed in a wonderful way because halfway through their life they decided they wanted to be a teacher or they wanted to do something else that their career was, and they went back to school and acquired the skills to do the things that made them happy, and then they could pursue in the work that they love. So first off, you're never too old to change your lifestyle, to do something new, no matter what. Even if you're in your 80s, you can always try something new. So skills are always a good thing. So some ways to set yourself up for success is maybe set a reminder on your calendar and your thing about, putting your exercise in, setting reminders on, or putting stuff in your calendars and planners and goals and your dreams. All these, there's resources out there. There's tons of planners. There's exercise planners. There's wellness planners that incorporate a lot of these different areas of your life that you could work on. And also, I like to pair activities together. Walking with friends. So I like to exercise, but I also now try to pair, hey, let's get together and go for a walk. So then we can catch up on our friendship and reconnect with them. At the same time, I'm getting exercise in. So pairing those kind of things together. I have in here too. One thing I have to do in the business that I don't like to do is balance my books. It's pretty important. I just met with my accountant today, and I was glad that my books were balanced so I could go over, the things for the practice. So there is going to be things in our life that we don't like to do, but part of self-care is that we have to do it. We have to do these uncomfortable things. So I usually try to pair listening to music. So I pull up a playlist on the computer while I go through the number crunching and balancing charts. And that helps me get through it because the music makes me happy and it pushes me through. And then it makes my self-esteem go up because I did what I was supposed to do. And then I was ready for my other professionals to work with. So how you can see how that cycle helps you with your self-care and perpetuates you forward. So that also circles back to the calendar, is putting that in my calendar to make sure that I do it at a certain day of the week. Make sure to set aside a time to do that as well, so it just doesn't get pushed out to the time, the last minute procrastination. Finding accountability partner or group, or some people need professional guidance. So right now this month is considered mental health month, and so it's okay to say I'm struggling in this area. I'm struggling with depression, anxiety, whatever the things that you are struggling with. So finding somebody to help you with that, or if it's less dramatic, you have a friend that you can, help you through these times, someone you can vent to and let things out with, but at the same time, someone that's not going to just let you, let's say, just vent, but not be productive, and taking that and just kind of being gossip, because venting can turn into gossip and rehashing over and over again. So it's fine to put something on the table and get it out, and just sometimes you just need to clear that space, but making sure that person is a trustworthy person that won't take that somewhere else, or maybe even comes back and sees things from a different perspective. I'm very blessed that I have many people in my life that I can do that with, and that's another inventory that you need to go through and see who are true friends that you can express yourself with, will let you vent, but also hold you accountable to, challenge you, see something from someone else's perspective, or, say, hey, what about you thinking this way? Did you do the right thing? And is willing to be a good enough friend to challenge you and maybe point to saying, maybe you were in the wrong or partially wrong in that aspect. And that's a real true friend, is someone who feels like they can give you criticism back constructively in a healthy way. So that's a good accountability partner. Somebody who's willing to tell you the truth no matter what. Obviously, I always say in love as much as you can. So my suggestion is make a list. You should have at least 2 or 3 people in your life that you feel like you can do that to, that you can feel like you can freely talk to, and that they would give you the truth no matter what. And at the same time, you need to be open to receive that truth and be able to not, get too hurt by it. So just remember, you are not alone. There is many people struggling with different areas of their life. A lot of Brené Brown's work, she's wrote a lot of books that talks about people that are struggling and they think they're alone, but really everybody has struggles. Everybody is struggling through different things. Find somewhere, some resource, ask for help, which I think I have on another slide. And just remember, anything is achievable. You can have the life of your dreams. You can have everything you want. You just have to make the effort for it. Just unfortunately doesn't come naturally, just flow into your life. Yes, I'm big about being affirmative and affirmations and being positive and looking for the positive things in life, but you got to put the work in. It's not like I opened my practice and I just said, okay, patients come in. I had to do the work to meet people and learn how to speak to people and connect with people. So it takes time. So I said, just find, what your passion is. Find your calling, which is the theme of this, and you got to put the work in. You got to make the efforts. And last but not least, I like to talk about your spirit and making sure you are putting in the calendar, setting time aside for alone time. So this last year, a lot of people had a lot of people around them and they were kind of stuck at home, and they couldn't get out much. And I really encourage people to kind of get their little sanctuary space. So I had that like sanctuary space at the bottom. For me, I couldn't get to the gym. I created my own little gym in my basement. That's kind of my little sanctuary space because I do my exercise. That kind of gets my endorphins going, and then I usually do yoga. I end my workout session with yoga and meditation, and I have journals. And that's kind of my little space I created in my house. Have a sacred space that maybe you can go to in your alone time and be able just to just center yourself, get grounded, be able to breathe, just be alone with yourself without music, without, any other distractions. There's so many people that cannot be alone with themselves, and that's not very healthy. You should be able to be alone. And so if you notice that's your one of you, then maybe you need to go through some meditation exercises, Google some things to help you overcome that and find out how you can do some exercises to be able to let your thoughts flow and be alone and reconnect. Also, journaling is a good exercise when you're alone to do. It gets a lot of things out of your mind and helps you kind of see things in an objective way, and then you can take action steps to deal with it. So, and a big one too is I like connecting with nature. A lot of people, that is kind of their sanctuary, maybe going for a hike. There is some great research, which I talked about on a Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago, and talking about how just being out in nature, just lifts your spirits, it helps depression, anxiety, all these different areas of our brain. Just being out in the colors and the birds and, just seeing these things just automatically does something to just our mental health or spiritual health, and just kind of pulls everything around. So just making sure to focus on that, the importance of that for your self-care. So this is pretty short and sweet. I am Dr. Rachel Northern, and I do also have, tons of tips on my book, The Journey to Vibrant Health. It is on Amazon. It is on my website, linked to my website, thedoctorandyou.com. Also, YouTube, you can see my other past videos.